Welcome back to the show. Check out these headlines. Ripple taps Africa and Swift is out. And new XRP target, $31. We got that and so much more. Somebody roll that beautiful intro.
Digital Perspectives with Brad Kimes. Come on in.
Welcome back to the show. Take a look at it. You can follow us on X, YouTube, and DigPerspectives.com. Right now, $3.96 trillion market cap for crypto. The market is up 0.9%, knocking on $4 trillion's door. We see Bitcoin 112,000 plus, 4,400 plus for Ethereum. Number 3 spot is XRP, 285. Now we're flat on the 24. We're off 1.1 on the 7-day. Look at the range of price now. Ranging between 279 and 287, sitting at 285, almost 286. We're at the top side of that range. We'll keep an eye on it. I want to tell you about Caleb and Brown's crypto brokerage. DAI and myself have come together to offer you a chance to open your free account. This is what you've been waiting for. Listen, personal touch service. I'm telling you, you're not going to find nothing like it. No more worrying if you've been hacked, if my transfer went through, or if my market orders were set correctly. With Caleb and Brown, I finally have institutional grade custody at no cost for my XRP and a real person I can speak with anytime I need support. This is unheard of in this space. They've completely eliminated the fear of losing my assets or struggling with self-custody. Caleb and Brown is redefining what service looks like for everyday investors, and this is a total game changer. And you know what? It is. And you could find out for yourself. That personal touch service is nothing like it. I'm telling you. Ease of use and convenience. That's what I'm looking for, ladies and gentlemen. The link underneath the video, or simply remember this: XRPWealth589.com. Click the link and get started today. You're going to love it and start getting the best night's sleep in your life since you've been into crypto. Right here, the Bitcoin maxis don't understand market multiplier because these assets have utility. Quick, somebody get some ice.
We're going to see prices with some alts, XRP to $8, Solana to $800, BNB to whatever dollars. And I feel like you had some of these charts that you were sharing around, the historical risk levels, where you were showing that if these alts, like these blue chip alts, how they're sometimes referred to, were to go up to these type of prices, it would just be way beyond any sort of risk level that they've ever reached historically. And maybe you can talk to these real quick, because I feel that's what a lot of people don't understand, especially like people who are just on social media and they're hearing like, okay, XRP to $8, it's possible, because Bitcoin has also rallied this much. So maybe if you could recalibrate some of that euphoria, that would be amazing as well.
Yeah, like if you look at XRP, it's always kind of topped out around that 0.9 to 1 risk level. And it's already gone to 0.8 to 0.9 risk. But to give you an idea, I would say that the best case scenario for XRP, assuming Bitcoin goes on a parabolic rally in Q4, best case scenario, as far as I see, is going to be like somewhere between $5 and $7, right? And I know that's going to hit people like a brick wall to hear that, especially if they're looking for a much higher XRP price. But
forget the price we're looking for. Can this guy even tell you anything about XRP? Can he tell you anything at all about XRP or the XRP ledger and the deep relationships that are waiting on the legacy traditional side of finance for the laws to be passed? And then we will see a huge difference in what goes on out here. The Bitcoin maxis don't understand market multiplier because these assets have utility. They keep thinking market cap, market cap. That is not valid. The market cap is a myth. It's a myth, ladies and gentlemen. Look at this. Tony Valentino comes out here and just puts a BlackRock out here. And I say XRP and, because I do believe we're going to see it. And here's evidence why. Just one piece of evidence. We already know that BlackRock's working in conjunction with Ondo Finance to put tokenized U.S. treasuries on the XRP ledger. Why would they not launch an XRP spot ETF? My gracious. And we know also BlackRock executive will be at Swell. It's Maxwell Stein, director of digital assets. How about that? So, but they're not going to do an XRP ETF. Is that what it is? No, not at my house. They're doing it. Well, take a look at this. Gensler's text messages between October 18th, 2022 and September 6th, 2023 are now lost. A 45-day white policy and a rushed reset led to a permanent deletion, the agency's watchdog said Wednesday. Now, this is the same agency that couldn't see anything wrong with Bill Hinman taking $15 million while he gave Ethereum a free pass. You can't make it up. You just can't make it up. This is suspect as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. This guy doing this. And I say, it appears that Gary Gensler has leaned in and using Hillary Clinton's playbook for destroying information. He did sign the check for the manufactured Russia hoax. Remember that? Shout out to Representative Byron Donalds. Apple doesn't fall far from the trees where I've got this one. You know, remember there was all those FTX conversations, you know, and how they got all those licenses. But Ray Charles could have seen what a dumpster fire was if he just looked at it for 30 seconds, but he was too busy getting him everything he needed, because I believe it was reason why is because FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried was the second largest Democratic donor at the time. Maybe that's why those text messages ended up disappearing, you think? Meanwhile, we got some integrity back in the SEC. It's a guy named Paul Atkins, and it's his second time there as the chair. And I tell you what a difference it makes. And shout out to you, sir. Has outlined the agency's near-term agenda, which heavily focuses on cryptocurrency regulation. And there's a big reason for it all. I'm not going to read this, but you guys know the SEC and the CFTC released a joint statement allowing U.S. registered exchanges to now list crypto, which means the CME Group, the New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ, which I spelled wrong because I type horribly, CBOE, ICE Futures US, and Foreign Board of Trade. They're all about to list crypto because the SEC and the CFTC told them, yeah, guys, go ahead. And I'm telling you right now that this is going to set up a massive, massive opportunity for these crypto exchanges that currently exist, like Coinbase and others, because they just got decentralized. And now they're coming in with traditional legacy finance exchanges, and they're going to offer the same products that the crypto exchanges have been offering for more than a decade. Hello. And I believe this will set up a run on crypto exchanges. Look out for more merger acquisition deals. The writing is on the wall. The big boys are here. They're not leaving, ladies and gentlemen. And then we have this, an announcement of the XRP futures products. Take a listen to this. And James Seifert here, who is a Bitcoin maxi and also serves as a analyst, I suppose.
I would have thought Solana would do pretty well, but we have Solana futures products that could be a decent indicator, and we have the Solana product now that has staking. And ironically,
how are they doing?
pretty good actually. But ironically enough, there's also leverage futures XRP and XRP products. They actually launched after the Solana products and had even more interest. So there's a lot of interest there. Is it going to be the level of interest that the Bitcoin ETF launch had? Absolutely not. Like anyone who thinks like, oh, Bitcoin ETFs took in 40 billion. My, XRP ETF is going to take in the same amount or whatever. That's just not how this is going to work. These are longer tail assets. I think there will be demand. There will be plenty. There will probably be multiple products for each of these assets to do well. Maybe not all 10 of the ones I listed, but a decent amount of them.
Well, I'll tell you, he may be right in the fact of outpacing Bitcoin early on, because, we didn't have favor and get a free pass like Bitcoin did. No, we got sued for 5 years. And I'd also bet $20 that James Seifert couldn't tell you one partnership that is using XRP or the ledger or even working with Ripple. It's just remarkable. But nonetheless, you can hear the Bitcoin maxi in him wanting to defend Bitcoin right out of the gate. It's less an analyst and more of a Bitcoin maxi at my house. I've heard him call XRP a shitcoin on stage at Bitcoin, but when I met him, he didn't tell me that. When I meet him again, I'm going to talk to him about it too. Because if you're an analyst, that ain't the kind of stuff that should be coming out of your mouth as an analyst unless you can prove it. And I know for a fact he can't. Brad Garlinghouse says here, per CME Group data, XRP futures contracts were the fastest ever, just over 3 months. That was lost on James. James didn't say that part, right? To hit over $1 billion in open interest. He was just shocked that his VC Solana buddies got outpaced, right? And here's the mistake that he's making. He thinks that that's retail money pushing that. Well, that's where the mistake comes in, because it isn't. These are institutional products. Right here is the list of the ETFs for XRP spot that we're waiting for. And we have 18, 19, almost 20 here. We're waiting for BlackRock to join the pile, and I'm certain that they will. That's at my house, not yours. That's how I believe. But take a look at this really quickly here. Chipper Cash will leverage real USD for instant, cheaper cross-border payments. Vlar plans to expand trusted stablecoin listings on its exchange. Yellow Card is integrating real USD into payments infrastructure for emerging markets. Now you hear that and you think, oh, okay, well, there's some action going on, but you got to get into it. Ripple's foray into Africa's stablecoin market could replace Tether, USDT. Yeah, we get into this thing. It's a little more than you think when you get under the hood. This is why we read them for you. Ripple's bringing in its USD stablecoin, real USD, to Africa through partnerships, fintech like Chipper Cash, Vlar, and Yellow Card. And this is what it all means. So the launch aims to strengthen the cross-border payments, treasury operations, institutional blockchain adoption across the continent. Since its debut in late 24, Real USD has grown more than 700 million in market cap, positioning itself as a compliance-first enterprise-grade stablecoin under New York regulatory oversight. Ripple touts Real USD as a trusted bridge between traditional finance and crypto, and it's designed to support large-scale institutional use. For Africa's rollout, Chipper Cash will leverage Real USD for instant, cheap cross-border payments, where Vlar plans to expand trusted stablecoin listings on its exchange, and Yellow Card is integrating Real USD into payment infrastructure for emerging markets. Ripple emphasizes Real USD utility across use cases like settlement, remittance, liquidity access, DeFi integration, fiat crypto bridging, and even tokenized real-world assets such as commodities and securities. Tether's USDT is dominant in Africa as it processes more than a half of total transactions of the country. So this is clearly in my house. This is Ripple sending Real USD down into that market to take the market share away from USD Tether. And you watch as it happens. Remember, there's the internet that we use that's highly regulated, and then there's the dark web that we don't fool around on. Now, I've been saying this for years, but after legislation, I believe we're going to see certain protocols brought into the internet of information to turn it into the internet of value. And then there will be those protocols that aren't really accepted, and they will be considered a part of the dark web. Yeah, that's what I got. So that's where we're at here. No, we're not done with you yet. Just a little more on this from Chad Steingraber. He throws a little more color to it. The technology to integrate stablecoins without all the need for SWIFT or correspondent banking. Now, how about that? Yellow Card Institutional Suite enables international payments via stablecoins without the need for SWIFT or correspondent banks, making it easier for them and corporates, banks, and financial institutions to manage their treasury and FX positions, fund, repatriate monies from global subsidiaries, and access major currencies. So this is, they could settle international invoices with ease, USD, Chinese yuan, euro, or British pound, plus 50 other local currencies, all powered by stable coins. Now, this is what we're talking about. Yellow Card Institutional Suite enables secure instant payment flows over 150 countries in over 50 local currencies. How about that? That's the kind of adoption we're looking for. And Jack McDonald's very happy to see that RLUSD is powering enterprise finance and exceeding that 700 million that we highlighted in that article. This is huge, and it's driving utility, scaling globally. Real USD is on the move, and I tell you, watch out now. And around the world, we covered this too when I showed you Axology is actually working on the XRP ledger right there. But what I want you to listen to now is this little 2-minute clip, and listen to every single word that this gentleman says.
This is the regulatory regime that you all should be aware of. It basically calls in European Union for new types of capital market infrastructures to be implemented. You can do a trading venue, you can be a security settlement system, or you can be all of it combined as a trading and settlement system. That is what Axiology is going through in European Union, and will be the custody, settlement, and trading venue for regulated digital securities on blockchain, on XRP Ledger. It has some limitations because the lobby of the big boys will make sure that we don't disrupt the system too much, but it's going to happen. And yeah. And we believe that Axiology and this particular custody layer, which European Union is allowing explicitly to be built, is one of the missing pieces for the Ripple ecosystem. So we have the infrastructure. It's fantastic. It's super efficient. XRP Ledger has been battle tested. It's very efficient in payments. We know RippleNet. It's a great success. We now need to build a second layer on top of it, which is assets layer. Ripple just acquired Hidden Road. Clear message, not me. I'm not speaking on behalf of Ripple. I don't know anything about that. But it tells me they're going into brokerage. They just acquired a broker. Why would you need a broker? Regulated securities, right? Okay, maybe some crypto, but we need a brokerage. And Axiology, trading and settlement system, this regulated digital asset infrastructure is the missing piece for the traditional finance implementation. Yes? Some of the informed people here can say, but Ripple has Metaco. Metaco is for crypto custody. What about digital securities? Regulated equities, fixed income.
This is the stuff I feel like James Seifert doesn't know. Probably doesn't even care to know. But this is the stuff that a lot of the Bitcoin maxis like him don't know. And I'm telling you, look, I'm just saying from his point of view, he's the guy calling it a shitcoin on stage when he's around his little Bitcoin buddies. You're supposed to be a Bloomberg analyst. Think about all the clients he's got that he's probably costing them an opportunity, the 300+% in the last trailing 12 months that XRP's gotten. I'm just saying, right? It is what it is, but that's where we're at. And this is what maxis really miss. The focus on where the puck is going, not where it's been, Wayne Gretzky. Ripple's been preparing for where the puck is going for more than a decade. This is where the puck is going, and maxis haven't figured it out yet. God bless them. This is it. This is why we tapped into Africa. Not only will they all have real USD in their country on the new digital payment rails like the XRP Ledger and others, but they'll have their own digital currency as well. And when you have the world's money on your ledger, guess where the liquidity is? Yep. Fibonacci analysis here from Egreg Crypto shows XRP at $31 and Ethereum at $8,000 on the same level. So this is the Ethereum on the top. You can see where they're at. They can hit the 8,000 mark. And here, 2018, you can see where we're at. You take that same bust. If we get that breakout, we're at 31 bucks. That's the way this goes. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. There's your pattern right there. There's your channel. We've hit it twice before. So it's not unlike for us to think that it could hit again, a third time. And if it does, I'm going to feel a lot like this guy in this gift down here. I'm telling you that right now. I'm like, hey, now, come on in. Yeah, not financial advice from me or anyone else. Listen, we're going into the Freedom Zone today, and today's a really good one. I did a thing about how to reprogram your life every so often, and I did a piece on that to touch on it, and I got a lot of really positive response on it. I'm going to do another one again, but it's more in depth. And if you want to truly know how to reprogram and reinvent your life, and trust me, I've had to do it. If you want to know how to do it, I'm about to give you everything you need to get it done. We're going inside today. You can join us in the Freedom Zone too. All you got to do is click the link underneath the video and join us in Patreon, YouTube, or X, wherever you prefer. Same price, same perks. All your daily videos with 0 Google ads and all this extra content that we're going to tackle too. And this is really great stuff inside. So I hope you'll join us. Not financial advice from me or anyone else. I'll catch all of you in the Freedom Zone. Come on in.